Guys, hello everyone. Today we're going to continue the topic of manipulating consciousness. As I mentioned in the previous video, Larvae, as Astral Parasites, are primarily used to manipulate human consciousness. They work like algorithms of influence. Remember how we talked about diseases before? When a disease appears, it's like a particular algorithm that triggers certain processes in a person. It's somewhat like a curse, right? Essentially, an illness or some kind of algorithm can be like a curse. It's an energetic encoding that starts certain processes in a person's energetic field and energetic body. When we talk about some energetic program, it's basically just a program or an algorithm. It has no intelligence, no conscious influence. It's more like a general information field. If we try to compare it to something familiar, it's as if someone pours cold or hot water on you, or you walk into a room and in that room, your energetic space, they place a heater or an air conditioner, or maybe release some kind of gas or smoke, so you start coughing. Essentially, it's a change in your state, a shift in your energetic shell, rather than some conscious entity doing something specific. If we talk about these energetic algorithms like an energetic spell, then yes, it's mostly about shifting your energetic state. That's different from creating some kind of entity or anything like that. I want to explain the difference. If we take purely algorithmic magic, forming some energetic code that triggers an illness, for instance, it's like the example I gave where some kind of smoke or fumes appear in your energy field. You might start coughing, or it suddenly becomes unbearably hot or unbearably cold, or it triggers a general sense of fear or panic. All of that is part of a broader energetic or informational field that can be created within a single person's energy space. We're basically talking about algorithmic magic. We launch an algorithm that functions as a particular field of information. It doesn't have artificial intelligence, and it doesn't have some singular directed purpose, although there can be versions of it that plant certain thoughts. But usually, it's just that you start tuning into a collective energetic or informational field. We talked about egregores and common information fields, right? Sometimes that can lead to thought patterns being implanted. When we speak of certain curses or hexes, you might see them as little flies buzzing around a person's head if you can see on the subtle plane. These algorithmic programs can come with certain thoughts, like little buzzing flies in one's head, but that's still not the same as a larva. The big difference is that an algorithmic general energy information background can't suck your energy, can't puppet you. It can only plunge you into certain states. It triggers certain processes in your body or mind or energy. It's not great, obviously. If we look at the overall background right now, like this recent magical eclipse corridor we've experienced, many sensitive people noticed weird manipulative energies. This kind of algorithmic energy information magic has become widespread, appearing like black smoke or some weird sticky substance. Part of it was designed to break down frameworks or carcasses so that new ones could be put in place. Basically, there was some kind of global magical work done to dissolve the frameworks of reality for light bearers and then replace them with alternate frameworks belonging to other people, and it's a large scale energetic infiltration. Usually, such magic is either targeted or scattered among a large number of people, but it's still a general energy information background. It can't manipulate you like a puppet on strings because it doesn't have a single cohesive intelligence. It only has the energy and intention of whoever sent it. That kind of magic can't go too far because it eventually dissipates. Yes, it might trigger some processes, but if a person understands what's happening, it won't work on them. The same is true of Liaras, but we'll get into that shortly. So, while this algorithmic magic might be useful to the dark magicians trying to take over, it doesn't give them some huge, well, outcome. So they bring in the second type of influence, the Liara. As I told you before, a Liara is a specific energetic form that acts like an artificial intelligence. It's like a little Frankenstein creature. I'm alive. maybe a jellyfish or an octopus shape more complex than a simple automated program. These can be placed on top of that first basic algorithmic layer, or after some magical operation has made a hole or weakened your energy shield. Liaras are like opportunists that jump in if your energetic immunity is compromised. Many people believe that if they have high vibrations, these larvas will burn up if they try to attach. But guys, a larva is like a robot vacuum cleaner. It's not a demon with a specific frequency. Sure, there are advanced Liaras, really fat parasites with high intelligence that might embed themselves in your brain. If you shine a very high frequency of light on them, they'll be afraid because their baseline is extremely low frequency dark energy from a certain demiurge or something like that. But generally, simpler octopus or jellyfish type Liaras aren't scared of your high vibes at all. You might be radiating high frequency and they just show up whispering, "Hey, how about letting me sit on your head?" And you think, "Oh, that's a great idea." And you invite it in yourself without noticing. So you're basically giving your agreement and it settles right in. Often these creatures just poop all over your head, figuratively speaking. If we're talking about Liarvas, these octopus-like or jellyfish-like forms, they live in the Astral. A lot of people who are superficially into esoterics and read stuff online don't realize what that means. The astral is where these beings get stuck. Even if you develop higher bodies that can hold truly high frequencies, your astral body still exists on a lower plane alongside your etheric body and physical body. Because as I've mentioned before, this physical form isn't designed to hold extremely high cosmic frequencies. It would just tear you apart. So there are energy seals that dampen the intensity. Otherwise you'd fry this body. What does that mean for your astral and etheric bodies? Well, these lovely astral inhabitants primarily target your etheric body, which is an exact energetic reflection of the physical body. That's no joke. Ignorance doesn't free you from responsibility. The etheric body can handle super high frequencies anyway because of all these dampers. So these parasites, designed by certain creators, be it dark magicians, demiurges, whomever, are tailored to operate exactly at the frequencies your body can sustain. That's why many of these simpler creatures don't get burned by your high vibes. They can function at whatever frequency your physical and etheric body can endure. Yes, there might be some types that are so low frequency they can't stand even the normal range of a human body that's basically healthy. Those are the ones that fully take over a person, controlling their consciousness entirely. The person's self is almost gone. The larva is basically wearing the person's body like a suit, speaking with their mouth, seeing through their eyes. Those ones can be scared off with higher frequencies. But the average jellyfish or octopus larva won't care if you radiate some nice high vibe, it's unaffected. Only a very specific targeted action can burn it away. There are people who say, "I cast a permanent flame around me, so anything entering my field that doesn't serve me will burn up." That usually doesn't work in practice, because you yourself invite them in. You might declare, "Anything that comes into my space will burn up," but then the larva approaches and says, "Hey, think about how your friend Masha is such a nuisance," and you go, "Yeah, she is annoying." You fling the door wide open, and that's all it needs. Your natural protection should prevent anything from coming in without your agreement, but they're experts at getting that agreement. They do it constantly on autopilot. That's why all these claims about Liaras are burning away from high vibrations, and you don't need to do anything. Just shine your light and no infection sticks to you are misleading. In truth, they do stick. A lot of people fall into the illusion of believing they're fully protected. Think, "I'm so pure that everything in my head must be correct. So if I think Masha is a sheep, well, she must be a sheep. It's not some Layarva messing with me because nothing can attach to me." But actually, it can and does. People who don't even believe in Layarvas can also be influenced just the same. They're just living with these bugs feeding on them, none the wiser. That doesn't mean we should fall into perpetual battle, constantly cleansing ourselves, reciting daily affirmations, or tearing up contracts non-stop. Some people get stuck in that loop of endless warfare against these creatures and lose their minds. That's not good, either. There's a golden mean. Personally, I think the best approach is simply stay aware of yourself, be cautious. We don't have to go into continuous struggle, but we shouldn't let everything go either. You can do a thorough cleansing once, but life is dynamic and grime can stick to you again if you stop paying attention. Children come here clean, but that doesn't stop them from picking up energetic dirt as they grow up. When you do cleanses, that's great, but then keep watch. Know that certain situations, anger, resentment, or negativity are attempts to manipulate you. If somebody is trying to lure you into a fight or make you aggressively criticize a president or prime minister or boss, guess what? You might be getting manipulated. If you find yourself outraged that your loved one didn't wash a cup, about to unleash a massive argument over it, that's manipulation. You can set your boundaries, express your will, and say, no, I don't want this. These beings constantly try to make us sign contracts with them, like agree that you're going to get sick or agree to be furious. The moment you say yeah, you let them in. It's like walking down the street. There are all sorts of people. Some you ignore, some you might invite to talk. Larvas function similarly in the energy information space. They have certain built-in limits, or at least an operating protocol. Sometimes they'll sense you have strong boundaries, but they'll still keep trying, day in and day out. Some get used as disposable cannon fodder by bigger magicians. If they get destroyed, oh well, the magician just spawns more. You can't really block your ears and eyes entirely, energy is everywhere. So occasionally these creatures will approach and try to slip a thought or emotion into your head, hoping you'll accept. If you do, you basically invited them in. It's like the old vampire tales. He can't enter your home without your permission. You let him in, so you have to retract that invitation to make him leave, and they don't usually leave easily because they're not designed to. They'll back off for a bit, then come back. They're like a meaningless robot vacuum. They have no self-preservation. The only way is to destroy it or forcibly cast it out. Otherwise, you might throw it into a portal. But if you haven't really sealed the deal, it might come back out again. A lot of those hudgy-wudgy type toy creatures are actual larvas with artificial intelligence. Someone is making them, mass producing them. It's not just a silly design. These are real entity forms, and some of them are advanced, even insoled in a twisted sense. Not just a simplistic AI. There's a magician or some force behind them running a whole factory of these nasty creatures. I want to do a separate video about these toy monsters like Huggy Wuggy and the rest, because parents don't grasp the seriousness. They think it's just a toy, but actually, it's a huge industry aimed at introducing these parasites into children's energy from a very early age. So kids essentially invite these monsters in and are even happy about it. But we'll talk about that next time. Anyway, I've told you more about Larvas, about algorithmic energy fields and magical manipulations, so you can see why certain methods people propose don't actually work. Many have asked me when we'll get into topics like intention setting or changing our thinking. Well, these discussions about mind manipulation are actually the introduction to that. If you want to shift your thinking, you need to understand how it's being manipulated and why. Then you'll know how to work on yourself more effectively. Also, in these videos I'm releasing about mind manipulation. I'm already giving you a lot of information about what you can do to change your mindset and step out of the system. For those who want to start practical work right now, follow the links under the video, subscribe to my Telegram channel, and also to my Instagram, which is officially banned in Russia. I'm now posting short articles about intention and shifting your mindset, real tools, not just random affirmations. And don't forget, today is the last day to sign up for my boss project, which is entirely focused on changing your thinking and escaping negative systems. That's it for today. I love you all. See you soon. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share my channel. Become a member of my Telegram channel and discuss with like-minded people as a supporting club member.